Hey guys, welcome back to the Warriors Den. Damien's not here today. It's just me all alone on this very, very wide shot. But I'm never alone because you're there. But you know what? We also have camera 2. Hi. Welcome to my living room. So the Warriors Den today. Actually, this is a very good show. We are going to be revealing some breach maps that we haven't even shown yet, and revealing some other big news that you'll want to be paying attention to. First things first, we just got back from, I just covered my mic, sorry. We just got back from Gamescom, and our friend who's actually running the boards today, Andre, helped us shoot a little video to show you all the fun stuff that we got up to in Cologne, Germany. So we're gonna roll that right now. We are at Gamescom 2018 with For Honor, Marching Fire. We're having a great week. We get to do a lot of things. There's some craziness happening behind me. There's actually a lot of cosplayers here at the show, which is awesome. We have some of our star players, including this Peacekeeper cosplayer, who we'll talk to in a minute. We're having an awesome time. We're doing master classes at the Ubisoft Lounge, showing off our brand new arcade mode, and we're just having a great time here in Cologne.
We take this opportunity to sit down with people, do a breakdown of everything that Marching Fire will bring, but more especially arcade, which is this new mode that you can play alone. It's a lot of different modifiers, and when you go in the game, you never know like which hero you're gonna face. So today I was not bad in this first session. In the second difficulty level, I had to ask one of our star player, Havoc, who's a great content creator for us, to come on and do his best. He was actually pretty good, way better than me. So it's a good opportunity to showcase the new content we're bringing at Gamescom.
Luke is being nice. Havoc could have done better. Calling you out. You could have done better. It was still pretty good. Talk a little bit about the scenario that you spent a long time with, because we were all cheering you on, and they kept getting you. It was a pretty unique one. Very fun for us to watch. Maybe a little less fun for you because you kept dying, but talk about that scenario.
Yeah, so I was stuck on a level where I was fighting against 2 Shinobis who was constantly regen health, so it took me like 60 tries to do that. But it was a lot of fun. It was very challenging but fun.
I am here with the amazing Rotten Kraken, one of our great cosplayers. You are a Peacekeeper cosplayer.
Yeah.
So this is definitely one of the more detailed costumes we've seen. And tell me a little bit about making it.
So since I love working with leather, wool fabric and medieval inspired costume, I was totally hyped for this.
So like the stitches and stuff, you did all this yourself?
Yeah, everything is by hand since it's leather work.
What is the weight of this thing?
About 20 kilos, something like that. Yeah.
That's like 40 something pounds. How's it feel to come here, see all these people playing the game, and then they get to leave with your artwork?
Well, it's kind of amazing. I never imagined it to be ever have the chance to be here and see something like this happening. It's also amazing to see how the game is growing, and you can be part of it. It's amazing.
What do you think of Gamescom overall? This is your first Gamescom experience?
Yeah, this is my first Gamescom, and well, I studied for game design, so to be here is a dream, really. It's a real dream, and I want to thank all the For Honor dev team because they are amazing, seriously.
What's it like for you to get to meet these people face to face?
For me, it's funny because they come and see us and they're so happy to meet the game devs on the game like they like, and they participate and they watch us on the Warriors Den. But for me, I think I'm probably more happy than they are to meet with them, because it's like, in one part, it's our job to do what we do. For them, it's a passion. And that's what we try to bring back in the office for the team, to know that, look, there are all those people out there that are super passionate about what you guys are doing. So it's a privilege to be able to really see that reaction face to face.
We've had an amazing week here in Cologne at Gamescom. Marching Fire has been a ton of fun to show, and it's been a ton of fun to meet so many of our players and community members from around Europe. So thank you to everybody who came out. You really made this an exciting week. You made all the stuff we did the best it could be. So thank you to everybody, and we'll see you at PAX West, which is right around the corner this week. So see you guys soon. The big French boy himself, Damien. He's on vacation right now. Blow him up on Twitter because he has nothing else to do. Speaking of blowing up on Twitter, give a shout out to our friend Luke. He is also not with us today, but could use your love. We miss you, Luke. Come back soon. And thank you. This was actually a really cool thing that didn't show up in that video. I met a fellow from Russia. He said his name was Andrew. He might have been Americanizing that for me. I don't know if it's actually Andre, but he said it's Andrew. And he told me he rebroadcasts our stream every week and translates it live in Russian. So I told him I would give him and his community a shout out on the show, and I'm doing it. And I'm even going to say it in very, very bad Google Translate Russian. So here we go. Krik vzem našim rossijskim zrtelям v efir Andrew. Thank you, Russian viewers. We love you, and we know that you love us because we get to see you in game a lot, so keep up the good work. Okay, pre-order is available now for Marching Fire. This is a thing I am bound to tell you because you should pre-order it, because if you do, it's $29.99, depending on your region and your currency, but $29.99 US, Euro. Digital only. It gets you the arcade mode, which we showed last week on the Gamescom stream. If you missed that show, go check it out. We talked about it a bit. It also gets you 2 weeks early access to the 4 Wulin heroes. So that's 2 weeks starting on October 16th that you can play them, while everyone else who wants to buy them for Steal has to wait. And it gets you these exclusive pre-order outfits for the Wulin, which we have an image of. There you go. That comes with the pre-order as well. Thank you very much. Andre. Another Andre. Now, I have some news for you folks at home. This is pretty cool. Starting next Thursday, 1 week from today, September 6th to 10th, on PC, Uplay, and Steam, we're going to be doing an open test on Marching Fire. Oh, shit. PC, open test. It gets you access to Breach mode, which we want to test with you, figure out how the balance is going and seeing if it needs some tweaks. Breach will be available in PvP, PvAI, and on custom match. All 22 warriors are available. That's right, all 4 of the brand new Wulin are at your fingertips. The 3 Breach maps that are coming in Marching Fire are also at your fingertips. Later on the show today, we're going to show you those 2 maps that we haven't shown yet. The Viking one and the Samurai one, which you have not actually seen. That will be on the show today. Also very important, it'll have the perk system for you to test out. The responsive dialogue system, which is what we are calling the voice system, which we've mentioned only briefly. And we'll talk about more probably on next week's show. The graphical enhancements we've told you about. Custom match on dedicated servers is a big deal. That's something that we haven't had since we've had our dedicated servers. And it's not just for the test. That will be the case when we get to Season 8 with Marching Fire. Custom match will be dedicated servers. What's Victory Celebration screen? Sounds like something new, but I'm not going to tell you anymore. Check out next week's show. Maybe we'll show it to you then. But that begins next Thursday. So you don't even have to own For Honor, actually. So if you have friends who maybe missed the Steam giveaway that we just did that you think would be interested, tell them about this. They can come and download it. They don't need to own For Honor. It's open to anyone on PC. So check that out. It's going to be very fun. Get hype. Tell your friends. Okay, we're still a live game. So this week we still have stuff happening. Starting on the 31st, we have the Ranked Duel Tournament has returned. There it is. So you go to the Ranked front and you will find the Ranked Duel Tournament there. And to go along with that, as we usually do, we have a Ranked Warrior Challenge. And that is an order that gets you XP boosts depending on which faction places where. So first place, you get the faction that wins first place gets 4 XP boosts, second place gets 3 XP boosts, and third place gets 2 XP boosts. Also this week, as in today, there are new outfits in the game, elite outfits, 7,000 steel each. And we have a video which we'll show you, and then we'll be back to show you those new Breach maps. Let's check it out. I'm no longer alone. My friends are here. You kind of, in different disciplines, make up part of our maps team.
Yes.
Our level team. Nicola, you've been on the show many times at this point.
Yeah, we did.
With Ed, unfortunately. No, we all love it. You're on the art side.
Yep.
You are our associate art director focusing on maps. And you're a level designer, Edgard.
Yes.
And George is new to the show, but
Yeah.
also a level designer who's been here for a while.
Hey guys.
First time on the show.
Yes.
We brought you both on because the two maps are each of yours.
Yep.
So we thought that would make sense.
I got the Viking map.
Put a little.
Finally a dev that's not a Viking. Everyone believes that we're all Vikings here, which
No.
a lot of
sound
I'm not a
right for life.
Viking, but I just happen to have made the Viking map. This is the first Viking map I've worked on.
For real?
Yep.
Wow. And we joked on the show a little while back about what are the maps team working on.
Oh, yes.
Damien and I were like, oh, who knows? Maybe they're not working on anything. And
Exactly. And someone even on Reddit then posted something about, oh, they don't even know what the maps team is working on. And I'm just like, really? Like
sarcasm.
Yeah.
We're going to show you what they've been working on,
Yep,
and I
yep,
think
yep.
you'll be impressed. I was. So let's cut over into the game,
Yep.
and then why don't you start, Nicholas, and give us sort of an overview here of what we're looking at. This is Hallowed Bastion.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the new Breach Viking map that we've been working on. And so just to give a context of the map, here the idea is that it's a big bastion that is pretty much inside the forest that has been raided by the attackers. So here we're spawning in the attacker spawn. So we get into the battlefield, and Edgar is going to show us the different, gameplay ingredients that are very, very interesting. And the idea is that the invaders are basically camping inside the forest in your back.
Yeah.
And now you're inside that battlefield where everything is broken, everything has been damaged during the war that started like few days, weeks, months ago. And you are actually trying to push your ram toward the big gate of that big fortress.
This is also a first view for the viewers to see the Viking pikemen.
Yes.
Because up to now,
That's
people
also
have
the
only
Viking
seen
ram.
the knights.
The
Yeah,
knight
and the
ones,
Viking ram as well, you're right.
As a beer.
A beer.
Wow, a bear.
Ed has had some beers.
It's a bear. So this is basically the main lane area, as we call it. This is where your goal is to push the ram up to this ginormous gate.
Beautiful gate, I must say.
Yes.
It'll be a shame to smash that open.
Oh,
In the bridge mode, we really wanted to feel that you were actually attacking a massive fortress. We really want to feel this wall look massive, big, very high, which was challenging for us because we had to find ways to get on top of these ramparts. But that gives a really different feeling from everything that we've been, working on in the past.
and these pikemen, as those of you who have played Breach before, they take a beating to go down. So they're not that easy. And they do deal a lot more damage than your normal soldiers in Dominion.
We're using custom match right now, which is why
Yes.
Ed's not taking damage.
Yes.
If you're wondering.
So here I'm going to show a bit more of the layout. We got a cool boost down there. So the map is sprinkled with different areas. We have ballistas, we have boosts, we have all that cool stuff that you can find along the way as you play. So, and here the ballista has a great shot onto this archer point here that we're going to try to be taking. Also, you can cover your friends on the ram, and there's also that archer point there. So, and you have various access points to different areas in the map.
Oh yeah, now we get into the trenches.
Yeah, here we have these trenches. This is something that Marie-Ève, one of the artists working on this map, one of the first prototypes she did, had these trenches, which I really liked. And I thought it brought like this World War I kind of feel to it. And again, we took a lot of liberties in expressing different forms of breach maps, So here you also see that the health boost is underneath the main lane area. You could probably even catch a glimpse of the ram.
Yeah, when the
and
ram is
soldiers
coming
moving
like
forward.
next to the gate, you can see it from underneath, and that's super
awesome.
super nice
Yeah.
feeling.
Well, that was my first impression was when I saw this, Ed, and you were showing me going under that. It shows that you, as designers, you're not just forced with a template for every Breach map to match.
Exactly.
You can try different things and take some liberties with the flow of them, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. So this is the first archer point that you can take in this map. And again, these spaces vary depending on the capture points. You'll always have the archers there dealing damage. You'll have captains there who are trying to protect the point.
I like that at this point too. We have an established like Viking architecture. Like those towers
Right.
are similar to with the towers that you can find in other maps. But
Yeah, exactly. Here we wanted to feel that this is kind of bunker, you know, where they were actually, you know, camping, waiting for the attackers. So it's again, as you can see, it's been bombed by the previous, you know, assault. So everything is kind of collapsed. But and what we tried to do in the bridge map, and what was very important, is to have very specific landmark for each of the capture point. It was super important for us that every gameplay, you know, iconic element was really visible from the player. That was, you know, easy to find, easy to recognize. So here we have the bunker. Now you are inside the second capture point inside the gatehouse, actually.
Yeah. So this is the gatehouse. So for those of you who have played the Knights map, it's similar in concept. You have the cauldron here that'll deal damage to the ram once it's docked below. As an attacker, I can't interact with it right now. And so this will be the third capture point in phase 1, as we call it. So interesting little fact about this map. As we were designing it, we had the first archer point, and then we had the cauldron as our second capture point, and we had the second archer point as the third point, so it was archer point, cauldron, archer point, which was very different from the Knights map, and you'll see later on in the Samurai map. And we toyed around with this idea of maybe the cauldron doesn't have to be the last capture point always in the breach map, but after we ran enough tests with this, we realized it didn't work. So we tried it. We actually held on to it for months. And we kept getting the feedback in playtests that this doesn't feel right. And I was kind of being hard-headed about it because I really wanted it to work out in the end.
Yeah.
But in the end, we realized, okay, no, it's better if it goes archer point, cauldron. So that'll always be
That's
the
the kind of
last.
work that we do a lot in the
Yes.
previews, like the first step of the production is to test those things, those different, like, as you said, like for sure there's always the same skeleton, but we need to reshuffle stuff around to give a different flavor. Here, like you said, like we really wanted to feel that you can go underneath the map, you have multiple paths, which is going to be different from for the Samurai map, and it's already very different from the Night map.
So I was showing here earlier, you'll see there is something that people may recognize from the Tribute game mode, that we have these shrines that you can, either defenders can use. This is for the defender team, so they can either place the shield banner in there, and it will shield the gate, and it can take an extra hit from the ram.
Yep.
But also the attackers, and you can actually see it down below. Here, actually, I'll go and get it. Yeah.
Take a ride.
So, at a certain point during a breach match, the shield banner will spawn, and so it's up to the teams to be quick on pointing it out when it does spawn, and it's up to them to plant it in their respective shrine. So, as an attacker, I want to plant it on the ram itself. And this means it can sustain more damage than what its regular health is. So that's a very important tactic in Breach.
So the attackers, they spawn like as we saw in like at the edge of the forest, and the defender, they spawn on the top of the rampart.
Oh,
with the super.
We just broke down that gate.
Hell yeah.
I didn't do a single thing.
So maybe you can go back up and show the view from the defenders.
Yeah. Again, we're playing with custom match rules here, so
So
Yeah.
in fact, yeah, one of
This
the
is
options.
not exactly the same thing people will
One of
be
the
playing,
options in
yeah.
custom match, you can tell it how many hits the
Yes,
battery
exactly.
takes to
So we set it a bit lower.
Yep.
So here we can see this will be capture point 4 of phase 2. And there you have again the same setup, minions fighting over it.
The main lane, the side lane, and a part that is more like a booster. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, here we will have to escort the ram now to the second gate.
Yes, I just want to
Which
interrupt for
we
a second
can
just
see
for
down there.
chat stuff. There are no Twitch drops today. I'm not sure if there's a thing that says that they're on, but they are not on. We're not doing Twitch drops today, but we will be giving away posters at the end of the show, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, I mean, so zone, and you have the shield banner as well that spawns, and you'll also have the guardian. So for those of you who have again played Breach in the Knights map, the guardian is an opponent that does not belong to any one team, and 2 teams can gang up or try and take him down, and they will receive powerful boosts in return. So yeah,
Do a little run around this area now that we're in here.
Okay. Just for you, Eric.
Just for me. There's a push and pull on how much we wanted to tease for you folks.
Yeah.
But I wanted to give you a little more taste just because we're already in here.
Also, important to notice that
Yeah.
the more you get into the map, the more the feeling of chaos will surround you, because that's something we push hard on. It's to really feel that the war is happening right now. You are inside the thing, everything gets broken, fire or spawning everywhere. That's really something that makes Bridge different from the other maps we have, actually from the other game modes we.
The skull.
Yeah.
Oh, the skull is so good down there. You might also want to mention too that this is using our new graphical system.
Yeah.
People, I saw some comments that they're appreciating the new lighting.
Yeah, so here you can have a glimpse of the work that we did on the new texture, the new lighting. So we revamped a lot, pretty much everything that we already shipped. So I think we're going to talk about that also in the future. But this gives you an idea of how the previous map are going to look like for the expansion. So here you can see that there's snow pretty much everywhere. We tweaked a lot the texture, we improved the quality of them, the detail. Even the lighting, we use a new lighting system that is much more accurate. So this is going to reveal more the detail of the architecture. The light is going to bleed more inside the corners. So this is something that you are going to notice as you play, you know.
Another cool thing is that the map catches on fire as you progress through it. So you'll see things like, the destruction, takes place live.
I do always, when I play this game, I do always feel bad for the fictional builders of these places. Like they built these beautiful buildings and cities, and they're just all getting destroyed.
And what I enjoyed about working on this map is that the organic feel that we brought to it, which is very different from the Knights map. There's so much, it's a lot of wood, grass, terrain, trees, a lot more to that.
And this one is a bit less military than the Night map.
Right.
Here it was more around the idea of this is a sacred, bastion. So there's something special once you're gonna breach the second gate. You're gonna end into a very unique place, something very different from everything we did before. We're probably gonna keep that for us until people play
we'll
the.
keep some of the mystery for next week.
So, for example, the next part you see is the third capture point of the second phase. So again, this one it's more like a druid. How do you say that? Like a druid type of house.
Oh yeah.
Like a more special, type of environment.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Incredible. Well, we're not done. We have a second map to show, so let's switch over.
All right.
And we figured, because we're using custom match, we can actually show them some of the options we've got for Breach
Yeah, we can
in
show that.
custom match. We are using the build that we're on today is what you'll play on next week in the open test. So what you see here will be what you get. It's true. Unless something changes. Who knows?
Right.
Things can always change in a week. But yeah, if you want to...
Okay, give me a second.
So you can see, like we
Oh
mentioned...
yeah. So here, if we can show off. So here you can even remove bots if you just want to stroll around the map as we were doing. You can change. You can even add single pick to characters.
That's big.
Yeah. Your usual stuff, and here's the interesting stuff. You can change the damage that the pikemen do on the ram itself. You can change that around, and the health on the ram. So we have at full health. You can have it so that it gets destroyed a lot quicker, and even the gate health. So we were playing on 2 hits, so that's why it got destroyed a lot quicker. The default is 3 hits, and you can even add 4 hits if you want to be really hardcore about it.
Cool.
Yeah, so,
All right,
okay.
let's check out Kazan Castle.
Here, I'll pass it over to George now.
Nice
Great, thanks, Ed.
little pick there. This screen.
And we'll go maybe grab one of our new characters.
So, oh yeah, come back. Just if folks haven't seen,
Yes.
I'll just mention because someone will probably call it out. That little message you saw is because we're on an internal build. It said P2P. It'll be dedicated servers next week. So yes, this is our new hero grid. In case you haven't seen it, we showed this at Gamescom and it got applause. So I think people have wanted a revamp to our UI a bit. So.
Oh yeah. All right.
Go with the very popular Jang Jun. We revealed him last week.
People really seem to take to him a lot.
People are losing their minds for him.
That's right.
This time we'll be lucky because we'll see the introduction of the map that
Oh,
we
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
see
that's
for the
Really?
past scene.
That actually loaded really fast.
I think
so you can
people will
switch
be
back over.
happy to know that these intros are a lot shorter than in Dominion, because I've heard very many comments about
Yeah, you get
Dominion
faster
intros.
interaction, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do not try to play favorites, but I have to tell you, when I saw this map, like
This is your
it
favorite.
blew my mind. If you've watched like samurai films, like you feel like you are in this world of the mire. It's amazing because you get like the opening here is like a village, right? So you get a little glimpse of how they live.
Even more than that, it's almost a city because when you get on top of the fortress, like you see that this is huge. Because that's the feeling we wanted for this one, is to have like very traditional, type of, I would say it's not samurai, but even like Japanese fortress.
Right.
As you said, like you open a book, you look at a movie, you go on the web. That's the kind of fortress that you will see. So, like if it's textures, like the shapes, the way we build the city is really based on traditional, traditional references.
We've got your
So
samurai
here you
ram.
start inside the city, you are surrounded by those walls. Again, you already feel the chaos, everything has been blew up by the bombs, like in a near past. So you spawn inside that main street that leads you directly in front of the gate. You will notice that in this map everything is much more square, so less organic than everything that we just saw in the Viking map. We wanted to have that contrast. For the ones who already saw like the night map, it's a mix between architecture and organic. Here, everything is about architecture. Everything is square. Everything is solid. And George can talk about like the gameplay.
Yeah, so for example, in this map, we've played around a little bit with the metrics. So we have the first archer point here, a little closer than it is in the other maps, so we can get to the action a little quicker. Defenders will find they can get there really quickly as well using some of our zipline paths and stuff. And this whole side lane is sort of in a series of destroyed buildings that really beautifully modeled by our art team, including Alex, who mostly focused here on the phase 1 area, who is away right now on paternity leave. So we're, of course, thinking of him. And Emmy as well was the other artist who worked on this map.
And I want to mention that it's also, there's a Ubisoft Chengdu that worked a lot with us. Actually, since the beginning of the map, like they've been a big part of the production of the map, and they did an amazing work. Because everything that you see here has been started in Montreal, but everything has been finished in Chengdu, and the guys did an amazing work. Like all the detail you will see, even the map are like slightly bigger, actually much bigger than everything we did in the past. Like the detail is still there. It's actually even better, like visually. So
yeah, these maps are huge compared to our typical Dominion and Waste Tribute,
especially this
deathmatch
one.
maps.
This one is a big one.
Which is another thing I love about Breach is when you play the game, like you feel like you're in a little corner of the For Honor world.
Right.
But in Breach, you have so much space to really kind of experience the world of For Honor.
And there's a transition, there's a progression. Like you start from the beginning, like because that's also something we try to do. It's to have a different flavor for each of the different phases. So as you can see here, when you start, you are inside the city, but as soon as you get on top of the rampart, you are inside the fortress, so it's much more military. And then when you breach the second gate, you get again into a very different space.
Very cool.
So the progression was very important, especially the first time you play.
So here's our second archer point here, again within some of these destroyed buildings. And you can see the roof is wide open here. We might come into play later. We'll take a look. I'm going to run back down here to the main lane. And we'll see, we have, again, some boosts scattered around here with some of this beautiful art. I should also mention, it wasn't just me working as an LD on this map. Kim was helping as well. Cool. And the two of us, I think we're very proud of what we came up with this map. So now we're getting closer to the health zone, which is inside this little market area. Again, also kind of destroyed.
Yeah.
And you can see even for like an area like this, where we have the healing zone, it's still a good fight space. You can sort of flank your way in and out of it. There's some escapes. You can do like a one-way path over here to get out. And any exit or entrance is kind of loop you quickly back into the action of our gameplay. So for example, running out here and then up into this building where we have the rally flag waiting and a view of that beautiful gate in the distance.
Yeah.
So let me just grab that.
What I like about this area in phase 1 of this map is that it feels like an area that was lived in. You know, you can tell like these were restaurants and shops.
Exactly.
And you know, it might have been a bustling town until our army came through and messed everything up.
Funky T asks about variations. Are there different variations for Breach maps, or do they only have one?
No, there are going to be 3 different lightings, so 3 different locations. So you'll be able to play the map in Ashfeld, Meyer, and Valkenheim.
For the test itself, it's one variation.
It's more variations.
Yes.
But when it ships, it'll have all of them.
So let's see, we're just going to run ahead and check out this tower here, which is tucked away in the corner, kind of discreetly, but it's actually a pretty cool part of the map.
So again, this is a very traditional, type of tower that you would find in any, medieval Japanese city.
And we can really get a sense of the scope too of how big this.
We don't see that much the size of the city with this lighting, so that's going to be a surprise when they're going to play in Ashfeld, because it's pretty large.
So the water pouring off the roofs.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And here we have a zip line.
Yeah, this is really interesting what they did in this map.
And we have access here for a drop attack down onto that archer point.
That's crazy. When you drop attack somebody from that zip line,
it's like an eye of the needle type thing, but if you get it, it's very satisfying.
Okay, so a zip line straight onto the gates.
Yeah,
that's right.
This is the only map that has that, and it really it makes a difference in terms of gameplay.
Yeah, we added it in because this area was a little too easy to camp for defenders to protect. Yeah. So this is just a sort of a third access that we've added that if they're aware of you coming that way, it's pretty easy to block you off here.
Right.
But that forces you to no longer be blocking the other entrances, and we found it a satisfying answer to that problem.
Cool.
That was definitely something great that Kim came up with. So here's the cauldron, of course, and we can see back down onto the main lane. This is where defenders are going to be trying to destroy the ram.
Yep.
And in all the maps, the shrine placements are a little different. So in ours, we tucked the shrine up on top.
Yeah.
Again,
that's the shield, the gate.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll dash back. So I'll take you over to where the defending side will spawn, just up on this platform, with a nice view out onto the fight space. And they can take the zip line down or the ladder as well. But I think maybe we'll tease a little bit of the
do a little tease.
Second phase.
So you'll see, I'll just give people a heads up. You'll see here, because the attackers have not actually breached the gate yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a functionality so you kind of don't ruin things for your teammates that if you go too far into the next phase,
Yes.
the game starts to
Yeah.
kill you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
First, it gives you a warning. It's like, okay, go back.
Go back.
Then it starts
And then-
to kill you.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
so George will have to contend with that while we show off little bits of phase 2.
Yeah. So
Cheer him on and hope he doesn't die so you can see more and more.
that's right. Thank you. Here's the first archer point in phase 2. It's a really tight space. Hopefully you'll have a quick bit of action there as we push into the zone. I'll take the ladder down. You see we have little side flanking paths here as well. And I'll take us into the main lane where we have this beautiful, now this isn't the gate here, this is a beautiful bridge
Yeah.
that goes across. And there's another unique thing in this map is having the ability to go from side to side in this phase pretty quickly without having to,
And
to
again,
go
as
through
you
the
can
open
see,
lane.
the lane is super straight. That's the kind of feeling we wanted to have in this map, that
Yeah.
everything is
Yeah.
like perfect. you
Very
know.
traditional Japanese castle design.
Yeah, even into how these barrack areas are sorted out and everything.
And again, you will notice as you get into that phase, the progression of the fire, like some part of the map will get broken. And we worked a lot, especially in this map, on the side path to make sure that you have, every time you play, you had the opportunities to go everywhere you wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's not like you can sneak around. People will be able to see you because of these long sight lines.
Yeah.
But if you're playing strategically, it just offers you more opportunities to make your way across the map in interesting ways.
And that bridge there that cuts the phase 2 in half, it's so good for traveling back and forth between the side lane and other areas of the map, and it really works well.
and there's a ballista at the back that we
There's
Yeah.
a ballista on the other
See
side.
right
That was
now.
something
Again.
actually, we didn't mention is that in phase 1 in this map, there is no ballista,
Oh, that's
which
true.
was
Yeah.
a tweak we tried out, and it
Oh,
worked
it's
pretty
back.
well given the size of that map.
Yeah. And again, as usual, there's always a health zone and a
Yeah.
guardian as part of the phase 2
Yeah.
of breach maps.
So you'll have to get in there during the test and find out where they are on your own.
Oh,
Exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
For this map, we did a big work with the modelers, so in Montreal and Chengdu, to have something that is very close to a specific Japanese type of architecture. So we work all the railing, the roof has been reworked. We almost restarted from scratch to really get close enough to the real,
Right.
real Japan, I would say. So, and the result is really gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like if you get into the third phase, it's a totally different, style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is we're gonna
Yeah.
be a surprise again, but I think that map was really, technically speaking, was really an achievement because it's huge. There's a lot of different ingredients. We created new textures, we created new statues, we created a lot of new stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's a great point. The tech team did an amazing job to let us have the map look so beautiful, but also have so much in it at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, starting next Thursday,
Yeah.
people can test for themselves.
Yeah. People will be able to play
6th
these out.
to the 10th.
That's right.
And
Exciting.
we're
PC.
keeping the third phase a bit of a mystery on both maps right now. So I'd love to see what people think about it once they get in.
That's right.
George, people are asking for some emotes here from the. Can you spam any emotes with the Jangjun?
Checking his blade.
I don't know what you equipped. Hey,
It's
good enough.
so these will be your defaults, yeah. And
Was the one where his back was
got a
hurting,
little-
was that an emote or is that just his...
he's got some great sort of idle animations he does
okay,
where
alright,
he
nice,
sort of
nice,
plays with his beard
Haha.
and looks at his reflection on his blade, actually, which is kind of cute. Yeah, I love this
He's
guy.
got some
So
swagger.
there's so much cool stuff coming from.
Oh, yeah.
So
People are
excited to
hype.
see. Yes.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
I love getting more. I love when the world of For Honors expands. So every time we have a new map,
Yeah.
it's like a new.
I think
piece
most
of the
people
world
weren't
revealed.
expecting 3 maps right off the bat, so I really hope they enjoy these.
Yes,
And we'll see what comes in the future.
is true. So thank you very much, folks, and we're gonna say goodbye to the crew here, but we'll be right back with our friend Stefan from the Fight Team to talk through patch notes and such. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Thank you.
Wow.
Steph.
Hello.
Oh, I can hear myself.
Wow.
Steph.
Where are we?
Yeah.
That's freaky.
Can you guys hear me? Steph. Oh, it stopped. Hi, how are you?
I'm excellent. How
I
are
like
you?
that you're always on brand for the stream.
That's
you like
what I try my best. I mean, I don't know what you're doing over here.
I mean, I'm on brand for me.
Well, as long as you're off brand for us, that's
I'm
important
representing the Aircoat brand of garbage. How are you doing?
part. Fantastic.
You went to China.
I went to China.
You took a week off.
Yes.
And you're well
Replacement
rested.
batteries, yeah.
You're back.
I did roof work all week, so that
Oh,
was fun.
geez.
So I'm more tired
What?
than work. I'm actually super excited to come back to work.
Can you come to my house? I have an old antenna on my roof that I can't get down because I'm afraid of heights.
If you want it fixed very poorly,
All you got to do
not
is
a
rip it
handyman.
off the top of my house. I just don't want it there.
I could
anymore.
probably do that. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't want me following with it.
I also want to apologize earlier. People seemed really upset in the video we showed that I was not wearing my hat. And I am, in fact, like Stefan, like many others on our team. Thank you for blurring when I did that, so it's still a mystery. Pretty bald. I'm apologizing. But Gamescom is really friggin' hot, and I was sweaty enough as it was. A hat would not have helped things, so there's my reveal. That's my reveal. That's an additional reveal
go.
for this show. We got
Behind
the
the
maps
scenes.
in my head. Steph, we have actually 2 different patches.
Double
to talk
patch
about
notes,
today. So
those
today,
day. That's cool.
live right now, there's a live update that we call.
Yes.
We call this thing. And then next Thursday is our next title update, so today it's 1.26.4. Next Thursday, it's 1.27.0.
Wow. It's like Star Trek Stargates.
And I
over here.
think the reason I wanted you here, sorry, I didn't mean to steamroll over that nerdy reference, but it is like Star Trek dates. God. The reason we wanted you here is the vast majority, almost all of the patch notes are fight-related things. There's a few little other things, but that's about it. So we figured you're the man. So let's go through it.
I'm just one of the team, so thanks
Yep.
everyone for giving us stuff to talk about.
Yes.
Okay, so this is 1.26.4.
Today's live update. So live now.
Exactly. 4 things, bug fixes. Raider's Fury was improperly tracking its target, now is properly tracking its target. So no longer will Raider be doing strange, wrongly aimed zones. That kind of sucked.
Okay.
So fix.
Yay.
Berserker fixed an issue that had to do with the feint animation. So you'd see sometimes boom, and you wouldn't get the kind of like feint and then light opener that you were hoping for. So that's fixed. Back to as it was before.
Meaning that if you were fighting a Berserker, it would actually be really hard because you couldn't tell they were going to feint? Is that what the issue was?
Yeah, it was kind of worse for the Berserker wanted to like hide what the attack is going to be.
Yes.
With this, and I think you'll see it looking fairly smooth, but like, yeah, hard to do with as the opponent. So.
Okay.
Good. Valkyrie, fix an issue. The front throw will now properly ledge the opponent. So yeah, headbutt, knock him over the pit. Valkyries are going to be happy.
Ledging is important in this game.
It is. It is. There's a few of them. Gladiator, sucker punch. The side, left or right, sucker punches were not causing stamina drain. They are now. So this is fixed.
Okay.
And that's 1.26.4.
Easy breezy. Now 1.27, next week's title update. has
Yes.
A few more than that.
You want the first one? You're a names and box guy.
Sure. So first up, we noticed that the name of a gladiator bot was legendary. We could not allow this disgrace. I don't know who wrote this patch. I didn't. So the name of the gladiator bot has been changed to ellipsis period, and legendary is now the name of a raider bot, as it should be. I don't know why it wasn't in the first place. Don't know if I would say disgrace. It's a little harsh.
I mean, right now it's patch note number 1 on this whole thing.
I know.
This is critical. If you take one takeaway, that's what it has to be.
Whoever did it, you're not a disgrace. Okay, now into the bug fixes. Fighters.
Okay, 3 general fixes that will apply to all heroes.
And this is a big one.
This is a
It might
humongously big
might
one.
seem like a little deal, but from what you've told me, you've convinced me this is a big deal.
Yes. I've been on the tell everyone what this means train for a little bit. Fix the bug on all heroes who do not have reflex guard, so that they can no longer speed up a stance change to 0 MS by changing stance twice.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? I've explained this many different ways, not super successfully to anybody. But basically, if you're not an assassin, before next week's patch,
Say I'm a raider.
you're a raider.
Yeah.
You can do stance change, and you get block over there 100 ms after you start.
Yep.
Then you wait a while, and then you do it the other way, 100 ms. This is what we expect.
Yeah.
But if you go 100 and then to the next one, we would expect to see 100, 100.
Yep.
But he's doing 100, 0.
Boom, instant.
The
That ain't
problem
right.
with exactly. So the problem with this is that suddenly he's getting a benefit for swapping stance, and now he can block things that he probably shouldn't have been able to block.
Yep.
And it was only for non-assassins, which is not fair, and it caused rollback issues where he would see a block, but you would see a hit, and then you would see a block, and you're like, that sucks.
Yeah.
So this is fixed. And this is super interesting to us on the fight team because we're looking closely at who is winning, how does this affect assassins, how bad was it for them. We've been talking about, hey, when's that State of Balance blog coming?
Yep.
Soon. But the point there is you will definitely see the assassins from the end of Season 6, they've gone down in the win rate. And we're hoping when this fix comes back, that we'll see much more of a parity. I can't do this. I don't understand.
So assassins across the board sort of dipped
Yes.
since this change happened where not everyone had the same timing.
Yes. And then for us, it's really interesting to see that difference. And I think it will illuminate to us on the dev team and then hopefully players as well, just how important these 33, 66, 100 differences can be.
Yeah.
So I know I went a long time on something that's super technical. Sorry about that.
Hey,
but,
that's what this show is for.
Perfect. Well, thanks for
Literally.
indulging me there. Second one, every hero is now able to dodge 100 ms after initiating a stance change. So it used to be that non-assassins could not dodge for 100 until 300 after stance changing. Now they can. So this is great. This should put everybody on parity again in this state. And there's a lot of times where you're like, oh, I did stance change, but actually it's a sweep or something like this, and you want to get away. So why not?
Okay.
There you go.
Good.
So this is cool. And then finally, you can no longer cancel your guard break attempt with a revenge activation. And I guess, should I explain it to them for a week?
Give it an explanation. Let's get it.
Okay, so you can do guard break, revenge, guard break again, and you can do guard break, revenge, whatever you want, and it'll stop the revenge or the guard break on the way. So, I mean, it seems like a flicker to me, honestly. You can't stop any other attack with revenge, your own attack, sorry, with revenge. So why can you do this one?
That's right.
So fixed.
Good fix.
Yes, all good fixes. And then specific stuff, which gets a little more detailed for each. Warden, there's a bunch of issues that we did not expect that were introduced with the rework. We expected a few things to be functioning this way, but they're actually functioning slightly differently. So small fixes across a few things. Shoulder bash was consuming more stamina than intended. It's slightly reduced from 27 to 15. You didn't see the fire effect on the shoulder. You still saw the icon that explained it's unblockable, but you didn't see the fire in certain cases. This is fixed. And the crush and counter-strike was meant to guarantee the second top light, and it was not because it was causing a light reaction, but we expect it to cause a medium reaction. So today we're doing that. So a few slight adjustments for Warden, and it should be what we're expecting to
Today,
see in
as
this
in
case.
next week. In this patch.
Sorry about that.
It's
I'm
fine.
confused.
It's very confusing. Don't
These
worry.
start dates are
It's
difficult
not
to
your
understand.
fault. But to say that again, starting next week, the Warden has a second light that's guaranteed.
From the crushing counter-strike.
Okay, great.
Yes, exactly.
Great.
And the intention there was with the rework, we were bringing it down from crushing counter-strike, guaranteeing shoulder bash, guaranteeing light. We just want crushing counter-strike, second light, and then there's a reason for that second light to exist.
Cool.
And it's a reduction in damage from pre-rework.
Great.
Great. Conqueror. We had a regression issue with Conqueror as well, where the entrance to full block stance was accidentally moved from 300 ms to 600 ms. Here we are bringing it to 400 ms. This fixes the bug, and we'll see how Conqueror deals at that value. So it's not meant to be a buff, it's meant to be a fix from before, and it's still actually a nerf from a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so
Sound
trying
okay?
to split the difference.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And we'll see how that goes.
Great.
Valkyrie, a bit more sprint attack was tracking opponents that correctly dodge at the timing that you're supposed to dodge at, and yet it would track them, so this is going to be fixed as well. They will dodge it.
So if you dodge that sprint, you're now actually going to dodge it, and she won't track you.
Exactly.
Got it.
So for a couple days, you can throw those out there. And we fixed a small animation issue where the Valkyrie was doing the wrong thing when turning around, so it looked a little odd sometimes. So that's her. Orochi, Hurricane Blast had no stamina cost when you canceled it with the dodge, and now we are introducing what we expect, so it should be 24 stamina in this case.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes. Down the list, Highlander had an awesome unintended effect. If Highlander went into offensive form,
Let's rename it to awesome form.
we should have.
It is
that
pretty
was,
awesome.
That was a big mistake. Highlander was able to counter guard break from the offensive form emotes. This is not expected. It's a weird exploit, basically. So yes, no more counter guard break from that state.
Yep.
And Shaman, last one that we'll talk about on the fighter ones. We fixed an issue where Predator's Mercy was not connecting on a rightward throw if the opponent was out of stamina. They would just fall, you would miss, and you would cry because it's supposed to be guaranteed.
Right. Okay.
Okay, and then some bugs on some general topics. The big one I want to hit here is Revive.
Yes.
There's an issue where you can automatically refuse the Revive if you press cancel, I guess. I was going to say B or circle or whatever you want.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Button right before you die, it would automatically cancel the Revive so no one could come in and save you. That's fixed. User interface, the one I want to bring up here that they fixed that's really cool, is the Dominion Capture Zone progress bar wasn't properly being displayed, and that will be displayed now.
Oh yeah, and also there was a big frame rate issue with the last patch when you're in the menus of the game, and that's also being fixed in this patch. That's a big one, especially for console players.
Yep, and then one final annoying thing. Oh, there's two more final annoying things.
Never over.
Fix an issue where a crash could occur when equipping an execution effect to triangle or Y button. I didn't experience that, but some people were, so this will be fixed.
Yep.
And fixed an issue that caused a memory allocation error pop-up to be displayed when closing the game.
That was
which
an
I got
annoying one.
100%
Yep.
of times.
Everyone got that all the time, and that's finally going away. So no more of that pop-up when you close the game.
Good.
It'll just close like a
Good.
game should close.
Good.
Yes.
So that's it.
That's
Clean,
great.
easy breezy, good fixes.
Thank you,
happy.
Steph.
Thank you.
So we will have you back here sometime soon, I'm sure.
There'll be more patches.
There will never not be patches. It's a live game. This is what we do. Cool. Did you want to give any updates? Last time you were on with Rahman, you guys were saying you're going to be looking at Valkyrie, for example.
Yeah, so I mean, Valkyrie is probably the hero we're keeping the closest eye on now in terms of like how is she performing, what is her win rate, et cetera, et cetera. We talked about the state of balance document, but that's for season 6 results, so I think you're going to still see her
Very low.
right at the bottom, or near the bottom. With the early stuff I can tell you about season 7, which I mean obviously we're not going to do the blog until the end of season 7, but early indications are that we're looking at Conk number 1, Warden number 2, Valkyrie number 3.
Wow. Win rate wise?
Win rate wise in duels, high level, et cetera, et cetera. So this is good if you are like, hey, is she viable? Yes, no.
Yeah.
So that's really good. We'll see where things shake up when the reflex bug, or sorry, the non-reflex stents change bug is fixed? Does that bring Berserker up into that spot, for example? What happens to other heroes, Orochi, Gladiator, for example? It's going to be really interesting, I think, that way. But right now, at least in terms of viability, it seems like it's putting her roughly where we want it to be.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that is it for this section with Mr. Steph. You have to go back to work or eat lunch or something. But the show is not over. We're going to now do... My thing is all out of order. We're now going to do our Dev Talks segment, which we haven't done in a little while, but Luke, our old friend Luke Deshane, sits down with different developers and sort of gives you a little insight into the people who are behind For Honor. So today, we don't need to do the transition. Today we're going to talk to one of our associate producers, Lori, with Luke. So let's roll that video, Andre.
Hello everyone, welcome to Dev Talks. This week we are meeting Laurie Imbert, associate producer on For Honor. Hello Laurie, welcome on Dev Talks.
Thank you.
So Laurie, you're an associate producer on the project. For how long have you been on For Honor? It's been a while, no?
Yeah, actually it's been 3 year and a half.
And is it your first project in Montreal?
In Montreal, yes.
And before, where were you?
And before I was working in Annecy, and before that in Paris.
So Annecy, and that's in south of France, right?
Exactly.
That's the paradise on earth.
Yeah, a little lake, mountain around, near Switzerland, it's really cool.
So which project did you work on in Annecy?
I was working on the franchise of Assassin's Creed on the multiplayer one. Yeah, I see you coming.
Does that mean that you were working with Data Man himself, Damien Kiken?
Exactly. This is where we met.
Okay, between you and I, has he always been like that? Like data and everything?
Actually, it was worse.
It was worse?
Yes, he was into detail. He wanted to know actually everything. Yeah, always asking about some detail. Like, he was full of questions.
That's Damien.
Yeah.
But we love him for that. He's super great. No, getting apart. So Paris, then Annecy, then Montreal. So working on multiplayer games, we've done Assassin's Creed, so that's why when you moved here, you did that as well.
Exactly.
Have you worked in any other video game companies before?
No, before I was a student.
And you study in what?
In marketing.
Marketing?
Yes.
Oh!
So it was kind of a hazard that I went into Ubisoft. I was looking for an internship at the end of my studies, and I applied without really thinking that it would work to Ubisoft because there was something in production.
Okay.
And I started working there, and I completely fell in love with the job, and I stayed in production because I thought, wow, I can actually have an impact on the game.
So you just applied like that for an internship, not really knowing what it's going to be?
Yeah, actually my internship was something like, hey guys, I didn't do video game studies, I'm a gamer obviously, I love what you are doing, I'm a fast learner, please hire me, I'm super motivated. And it did work.
So you see, there are many paths leading to Ubisoft. Schools or dedication, and sometimes just apply for something and you go get it done.
Yeah, exactly. You need to test, at least.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, they say no.
Exactly. That's a very good philosophy. Laurie, are you a knight, a Viking, or a samurai? I memorize the order.
I'm a Viking.
You're a Viking as well. That's hilarious because everybody answers Viking. I think we really need to make an effort next time we shoot Dev Talks and tell people, if you're a Viking, you are not welcome to the shoot. Because there are a lot of Vikings on the team.
But I can recognize myself in all the three factions for different reasons, obviously.
Okay. But at art, you're a Viking.
Yeah, but at core, I think I'm a Viking.
And which one is your favorite character?
I would say the shaman.
The shaman. And I learned something interesting in the 5 minutes. We've been working together for many years, but I learned something interesting. Right before we shot this interview, you share a special connection with the shaman.
Exactly.
What is it?
Probably that's why I like the character. But yeah, I do what we call, I practice shamanism as a techniques outside of Ubisoft in my personal life.
And what does it do?
Really hard to explain, but basically it's a technique to connect with your own intuition. So you go into a kind of meditating state where you actually try to get information for yourself or for helping other people, for example. So I've been practicing for 2 years now.
I didn't know that. Because at first when I asked a couple of questions, she had a shaman, like I had a character, like no, in real life. Like, what? So she had to explain to me. So now everybody knows. So Larry, also one thing, like what I found really interesting with people on the team is, like they all have like different center of interest. Like you have this one that we just talked about. Some people are in music. We had Pascal Mimo, who was doing the music on the Warriors Den. So, but one thing also, when we finished the game, I went on a couple of weeks of vacation. When I came back, you were gone.
I know.
And every week, like, is Lucky there? No. Is Lucky there? No.
Oh.
What happened? Where did you go?
You were sad. Oh. I went to vacation. Actually, I always dreamed about a big trip in South America, Central and South America, so I decided to go there almost 6 months.
Wow.
And with my backpack alone, and I did all the countries, and my big dream was to actually go into the sacred sites of this area and do meditation on the sacred site. So like sitting on a pyramid, and how does it feel to be there? Like.
And how did it feel?
It was amazing, actually. Yeah,
yeah?
I had a couple of experiences that was really interesting. Yeah, and I also was into Easter Island. That's amazing. Honestly, it was one of my best memories.
Wow. For me, I always admire people who, like you, will go on those crazy adventure, because I'm not a big adventurer myself. So I kind of envy and admire when people have the guts to do something like that. I think it's amazing.
Well, there is never a good moment to do it. So at some point you need to decide for yourself, like, okay, I'm doing it now, because there is never a good moment. There is always something to do otherwise.
So we'll come back to For Honor now. So you're an associate producer on the game. So what does an associate producer do?
Okay. So you know, in the team, there is a bubble of team that are managed by a production manager. Associate producer manage different team, and most of the time we also are the people that deal with the stuff that fall into cracks. So we make the links, and if anything is like what I call the lost subject, this is what we do. We take the lost subject and we make sure that they are not lost anymore. This is what we do.
And before we ship the games, what was your area of expertise or responsibility?
I would say online.
Online?
Yeah, online, because of my past in Annecy in a multiplayer game. I was already in a live environment, and I knew a little bit what was the expectation and how the production need to adapt itself to be live as well. It was a big challenge as well, and this is what I tried to brought on For Honor.
Okay, and now I know you're not online anymore. You're doing something else.
Yeah, so I'm still linked with online, but I took also the mandate for a test.
Okay.
And other mandates like special demos.
Like E3.
Like E3, for example. I'm dealing the version for E3.
Cool. So she's the one, like, asking Damien, Roman, and myself a bunch of questions. Because what do you want, guys? Like, what do you want? What do you want? Is that okay? Is that good? Is that okay? So she's in charge of putting us into order, because we're not the most disciplined group of people you can have. So over 3 years on the project, if there is one moment, like you look back and you say, this moment was great. Like, is there, it can be more than one, it can be two. But like something special that like, okay, that's unique. What I experienced there was really, really special.
Yeah, I would say the launch of the game, but just before the launch, because in the online team, we needed to open the server just before the official hour to make sure that the server were behaving the way we wanted and everything was going smooth. So the big moment for me was everyone in the team was gathered together before, like in the morning, we had croissant and everything, and there was a big TV, and we had the visit of everyone, like Stefan was here with the VP in Montreal, and seeing that everything was going all right, and realizing that, okay guys, we did it, all this hard work was finally paying. It was a big moment, like a big celebration moment. That was, at least in the online team, it was a relief moment.
Oh, I think it was probably for everybody. Yeah. To be able to say, oh, we got here.
Exactly, exactly.
Because like shipping a game is tough. But being live, it's tough every day.
Oh, yeah. We have surprise every day.
Exactly,
so.
We never stop. We never stop. So any last word you want to share with people before I let you go? Any word of wisdom or things you like to share about your time on For Honor or anything else?
I would like to thank the community really, because I didn't see a lot of community that is so passionate about a lot of games like that. So for me, it's really touching me, and what drives me into coming to work every day is seeing the smile of people that I'm working with today, every day. So seeing the comment and the good vibe of the community, for me, it's also a way for me to receive the love, to receive the encouragement that we are doing. So yeah, that's it.
Cool. Thank you very much, Laurie.
Thank you very much, Luc.
Thank you, everybody, and see you next week for another Dev Talks.
Thank you, Luke and Laurie. And no, Laurie is not Damien's wife. I'm more Damien's wife than Laurie is at this point, so let's be honest. Thank you. Laurie's awesome, and thank you to the people in chat are not being shitty. You're awesome. Now it's time for Community Corner. Do we have a transition? We're just going to... We had a transition after all. Thank you. Hey, I'm over here too. Hi. Hey. Nope. Just seeing if you can keep up, Andre. I'm all alone. Gotta have fun. Okay, let's get into the videos. If you've never seen the show, we do Community Corner every week. We grab videos from the popular videos that we find on Reddit, and some are very funny, and some are good gameplay, and some are good editing. We have lots of very creative people in the community. So if you wanna get featured here, post them there. Okay, first vid is from Leno is bueno, Kamehameha kinda. Also, if you've seen the show and you know me, I find that the dumber the clips are, the better. So if you really want to catch my eye, make them real dumb. I like that one. Next one, George Reshetov, top 10 anime fights. I thought anime was better than that. So I know people were wondering if that, like the Sword in the Stone one, if it ever spawns one that works. It does not, so you can stop trying. Thank you. One of my favorite creators, Mr. or Ms., I don't know, Butter Raider. Raid the butter. This is Emperor Saltimus Sodium.
Salty Miss Sodium.
Rome is power! Capture his own head. This is the will of the gods. This is I will have my vengeance. Capture his own share. My colossal. This is a rest in blood. All the pain you are this way. The sky will fall from grace. All the voices left Your souls take the rest. I am everything you need. Nothing makes you fear. Whisper, whisper words of insanity. Nice.
Oh! Now you fucked up!
Hey, that's pretty good.
Finish him. Wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Up next, we've got Vita with a video called Noit Faction. Don't know if it's a typo, but it's Noit Faction. Let's check it out.
A flag has been captured! You stupid! Oh! Out of nowhere!
Bruh.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
It's okay. Go back to sleep.
Target approaching from the north.
You did well! Very good!
Falcon kick!
Nope.
I help you?
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Rest in pizza. I wish I could rest in pizza. Although it probably burn, like 3rd-degree burns. But pizza's good. Thank you, Vita. All right, from the great Barakat. I heard you guys like big plays.
Îți zguduiesc pereții din noaptea asta până la sfârșitul vieții.
Ascult-o pe asta în gâtul mătii, dă-te zloboz în pula mea în morții mătii. Ars de nerăbdare, să dispar când apar. Dacă ars de nerăbdare, ars de tot măcar. Ai comportament ostil de pizdă. O parte dintre noi, adică voi, e muistă. Noi facem haz de necaz, viața e grea. Bătem la uși cu Sorcova, guvernul cu foamea. Voi sunteți înmărmuriți peste măsură. Cam tupeu să atâta lume în gură sar. Din gură în gură ca microbul rătăcit. Dacă aviara dădea în ciori, dormeam liniștit. Fără gaburi și politicieni corupți. Fără tine cel ce te prefaci că nu ne asculți. Fără oameni triști ce-i plâng pe comuniști. Fără ca atunci când zici ceva să te riști. Fără să rămâi fără.
Good. Everyone died. I thought this was cool. It's a video from English Butter. I have never seen English Butter do video before. English Butter designed this. Not the pillow specifically, but the design on the pillow. So we're going to go to English Butter's A Step-by-Step Guide to Making Sure That Shaman is Well and Truly Dead. I think you got him. I think you got the shaman. Maybe take it up a notch. The poor shaman. Okay, this is a very short one, but it made me laugh. Spingfire's Shigoki's Serenade.
Pull up.
Frank.
Headshot.
Frank.
Sit down.
Frank.
Stand up.
Frank.
Pass out.
Frank.
Wake up.
Frank.
That's it. That's it. Told you, I like dumb things. It's very good. Oh, speaking of dumb things, Long Dong of the Laws For Honor meme compilation 23. Get into it.
God, don't meme.
Alright guys, we're here at Salty Dog Jiu-Jitsu. I'm Coach Salter. We're working on our takedowns. As you see here, Lindsay's a smaller opponent. And when she shoots her double leg, as long as she runs her feet, it doesn't matter how big and strong he is, she's able to drive through it.
It's inspired from
something.
From something I won't say, but you know I love, and I think it's really cool.
Water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the Avatar, master of all four elements, could stop them. But when the world needed him most, he vanished.
Am I really gonna defile this grave for
Memes.
Of course I am!
Daddy! I knew you'd come back! Here you go!
Wow! That was pretty brutal even by my standards.
No backsies!
I love the dumber the better. See, I guess it's a thing I say a lot. Very dumb. Thank you, Mr. of the Law. Okay, this is a music video, which the trick to playing a music video is it has to be a song that I like and not something terrible. Corey Lotto mines the 1981 or 1980 #1 hit in the UK by Anika, Japanese Boys. If you don't know the song, it's a 80s synth pop masterpiece. I really like the editing here, so that's why we're showing it. Let's check it out. Great work, Corey Lotto. A lot of really good editing there. All right, I think this is our last clip of the week. This one actually came after I'd already compiled my list, but I was pretty impressed by it. We might have to show it twice. Oh no, sorry, we have two. I lied, there's two. There's no line break in my graph here. All right, this is by a poster named Dysfunctional Douche. Great name. Don't try to ledge the ledge lord.
Zone A.
Warlord needs a nerf. All right, this is the last video. This is by a guy who sent this clip to me directly, Ace Wonder, and I was pretty impressed by it. Let's check it out. Watch closely. It's called Amazing Breaking Comeback.
Your team is breaking. Victory!
So he gets a quad kill at the very second that the blue team goes into breaking, which is just crazy. So the second they go breaking, he kills them all and they get the win. Very good stuff. Thank you everyone who contributed clips this week. That is it for this week's show. We will be back again next week as always. I think Damien will be back next week, so I might not be so alone. Yes, keep cool. Remember that the open test starts next Thursday on Uplay or Steam on PC. You don't need to own the game even, so you can just come and play it. So even if you're a console player, load up your PC and play for the weekend, 6th to the 10th. We want your feedback. We're not doing it just as like a little marketing thing. We actually want to know how the balance feels in Breach, how the characters are feeling, all of that. So let us know, and we will see you next week on the Warriors Den, and goodbye.
honor, baby.
Hell yeah!